And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin' Hippo. Let me just refresh my page, make sure that I am actually live before I start talking. There we go. So welcome in everybody. If you're new to the channel, I'm Star. If you're not, you know who I am. Today is Tuesday, December 10th, and we're going to talk about some ways to think outside of the box tonight. We're going to wait for some folks to come in before I get started. We'll start saying hi to people in the chat. Hi Kim, welcome in. Dawn, hi. Rhonda and Amelia are here. Hello, hello. I always start talking right away, like on topic, and then I feel like maybe I should wait a couple minutes for more people to come in. If you guys miss anything, you guys can always tune in to the replays and catch up on what you missed. Christian's here. Hi, Christian. Probably driving, right? Dave and Bill are here. Gnome and Frog. Excuse my voice. Northwest Purple Sparkles. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hi. Bailey. Holly's here, guys. I Run Amok is Holly. That is one of my moderators and my work wife there. Amy's here. Welcome in. Welcome in. So I wanted to take the time tonight to, hi Ann, talk about some things you've probably heard me talk about before, but it's important enough to reiterate. It's important enough to talk about again. There might be some new things in here. But we are getting ready to wrap up 2019. Hi Trina, welcome in. So I'm going to look just to make sure I don't speak out of turn. Yeah, so there's 3 weeks left in 2019, which is what I wanted to say, but I wanted to check calendar first. Southern Blue Skies, Cynthia, Patty, welcome in. Hi guys. So we have 3 weeks left until we start a brand new year. And although I don't really believe in New Year's resolutions or New Year, New Leaf, New Year, New Me, and all that stuff, because I feel like every single day is an opportunity to learn something new. Every single day is an opportunity to improve yourself. And then, you have every single Monday is the beginning of a new week. Every single first of the month is a new month. Every morning you wake up is a new day. These are all opportunities to improve yourself. So you shouldn't hold off until New Year's to learn new things or improve yourself or work on your business. But it is a really good time to take a step back and look at things and kind of review how your year went, review where your business is at right now, and kind of think about and start making goals and plans towards where you want your business to be this time next year. And this can be something that you do every month. At the end of every month, when you come to the beginning of a new month, you can think, well, what have I done this month? Where is my business now? Where do I want it 30 days from now? What can I do this month to improve it? And you can even do that every Monday morning or Sunday night as you plan your next week. What have I done this week? What is my business doing? What can I do to improve? What can I learn? What can I add? What can I take away or change to improve? And so you should be doing it all the time. But as we come to the end of the year, it's a really good time for everyone to just stop and think about what not only where your business is at, but where you're at. It's a good time to reflect. That's the word I wanted. It's a good time to reflect. And as you reflect and think about this, you should definitely be planning in a bullet journal or a notebook. You guys know I preach that all the time. And you can kind of get yourself into the habit as you plan for 2020 to start doing this once a month or once a week, to continually improve yourself all year long and not just kind of trek through the year or spin your wheels in the mud until, oh my gosh, it's a brand new year and now I have to change things. Because you should be doing it all the time. You should never be spinning your wheels. If something isn't working, then you need to figure out what needs to change to make things work. If something is working or something is doing really well, figure out what you did to make that really good thing happen so you can keep doing it. So it's not always about change. It's always about reflection. What's wrong? How can I fix it? What's right? And what am I doing? And how can I continue it? I'm going to say hi to a couple more people. Grand Larceny. Pete's in the house under the wrong name still. Welcome in, Pete. Candace is here. Stark Raven Wild. Carpe Diem. She says, Jacob and Anne, welcome in. Thank you for joining us tonight. So, as we have 3 weeks left in 2019, we definitely all need to start thinking about what we can do in 2020 to become more profitable. If you're a reseller and you're not in this to make money, then I don't know why you're in this. I get a lot of comments from folks all the time when I talk about ways to become more profitable, ways to make more money, ways to increase your sales. I get a lot of comments from folks calling me greedy or other not so nice things that have to do with being greedy. But it's not at all about greed. If you're a reseller and you started your own business and you're not in it to increase your profits or to build your business bigger or to make more money, then I don't know why you do this. That's just, there would be no point to this if you didn't want to make money. None of us are in this to go spend hundreds of dollars thrifting to bring the stuff home and put it somewhere and never make money. That's not why we're here. We're here because we're resellers, and we're here because we want to make money, and we're here because we want to grow our businesses even bigger, and we want to increase our profits. But you also have to cover your bottom line. So it's not just about, being greedy. I need more money. It kind of all feeds into itself as a circle is what I'm trying to say. So if you decide that you're going to branch out from eBay to other platforms because you want to increase eyeballs on your items, you want to increase your profits, now you have other platforms that you're paying fees on. Now you have more time that you're spending on more platforms. And at the end of the day, that all comes down to money. So you spend money to make more money, to spend more money, and you just keep growing your business. I personally do not think it's at all greedy to consistently think about what you can do bigger and better, how you can increase profits, how you can make more money, how you can grow your business. You can go from having 100 listings on eBay to having 2,000 on eBay, 1,000 on Poshmark, 1,000 on Mercari, 5,000 on Amazon, and all these other streams of platforms, streams of income coming in, some passive, some not. And I would think that would be the reason we're all in this. Even if you're a hobby seller, even if you're only doing this for vacations, you want to make more money so you can spend more money on your vacation. But if you're in this as a business and you don't want to grow, then I don't know why you're here. Did I say hi to Dawn Marie, Mother's Den? Welcome in, guys. Candace says, I've been a hot mess. I'm going to lot of my items and sell it off. I'm drowning in inventory and debt. Yeah, sometimes that's just a good way to go. If you've got a lot of inventory and you can't get it all listed yourself and you can't afford to hire anyone to help you, lotting it up and selling it off like that gets your initial investment back plus a little bit of profit, clears out some of the inventory, and gives you some capital to go out and get new, fresh, maybe more profitable inventory with. Hi, Red Willow Farms, and welcome in. American Arbitrage and Better Barbie. Hi, guys. So tonight, now that I've done my little spiel about we all need to reflect and grow our businesses and make more money in 2020, I just want to kind of go over some of the ways we can all start thinking about making more money. Now, I think it was last week's live show I said this. Maybe it was a pre-recorded video. Maybe I've said it a million times. But I kind of feel like we've all learned this Q4 that we can't rely on eBay. I have reseller friends that have been in this business for 20 years and have said that this is the worst Q4 they've seen in 20 years. I have friends that have been doing it for 3 years It's the worst one they've seen. We're going to get into talking about wholesale and selling off lots in just a second, guys. Hi, Nick. Welcome in. I'm glad you're here live. Okay, so now I lost my train of thought. Oh, we cannot rely on eBay. This Q4 has been disappointing for so many reasons to so many folks. And if you have all of your eggs in one basket and all your items on eBay and you didn't have any other platforms or streams of income coming in this Q4, I'm sure that it was a lot more devastating and disappointing to you guys than those of us that actually had other streams coming in. But even for those of us that did, we've all learned our lesson that you can't have all your eggs in one basket. You cannot rely on one platform. You cannot rely on one place for your money. You've got to build up all those streams to build your business. So I would say 2020 is the time to start cross-posting if you haven't already. If you are only on eBay, 2020 is the time to start putting your items on other platforms. You can start with, well, it depends on what you sell. If you're very clothing heavy, Poshmark is a good option. Mercari does really well, allegedly. I don't do well with Mercari. I've talked about that before. I've given up on it twice. Keith and I have given up on it twice in the past, but we're on our third resurrection on there right now. I'm using List Perfectly to move all of our plush over. But allegedly, Mercari does really well with like electronics, hard goods, toys, vintage things like stuffed animals. Posh is good for clothing. Amazon is a beast unto its own. I wouldn't recommend anybody jumping right into that until you've mastered a few other platforms. They have so many things that are gated, and they have so many rules, and it's so easy to get suspended over there and get your account taken away. But it is a good, viable place if you have books or vinyl or electronics. There's just so many out there. Like, I can't even think of them all. There's Grailed. Etsy's really, really, really good for vintage and handcrafted items. So for those of you like Holly who are crafty and can sew or make things or whatever, Etsy's a good place for that. That's not so much my cup of tea. I've never been a crafty person, but Etsy's really good for vintage clothing and vintage plush, from what I understand. We're not on Etsy, but it is good for vintage crafts. I'm trying to think of some more. There's just so many out there. There's a plethora. And then you don't even just have to do like the other platforms. We're going to talk about local sales and social media in just a second, but if you are only on eBay, I'm going to tell you, if you want to make it, you're going to have to go out on other platforms, period. I don't know what's going on with eBay. I don't know what's wrong with it, but it is definitely broken. It's just not doing what it should be. And in order for you to make it as a reseller, I really think that you have to be on other platforms. So there's just so many of them. There's a plethora. I personally really like Poshmark. I know a lot of people don't like the effort and the time it takes. It really doesn't take that much time. I think that people who have tried Poshmark and gave up or haven't tried it just have this misnomer in their head that, oh, it's too hard, there's too much. It's really not. Especially when you're first new and you're just growing. If you're only putting 10 items on there a day, it will take you 3 seconds to share your 10 items. 30 seconds total to share them 3 times a day. It really doesn't take that much time. And when you get into a good routine with it, it's quick and it's super easy. It's tedious and it takes time, but it's not hard. And I have tons of videos on what you should be doing as far as offers and sharing. I knock out my Poshmark total time 2 hours a day. And that's cross-posting 10 items and sharing my entire closet 4 times a day. That's 3 times to my followers and once to the last party of the night. So, and we have like 900 listings. So I don't really think it's that time consuming. And the one thing I love about Poshmark is that it pays out for the work you put into it. So you guys know how sometimes on eBay you'll go on a listing marathon, you'll list hundreds of items and you're really busy and then you start selling a lot, but then there's times where you feel like you're putting in that much effort and you're not really seeing the payout for it. Poshmark, you always see the payout. So when you increase your sharing or you increase your listing on there, you will see more sales. If you increase the amount of offers you're sending out, you see more sales. Sometimes with eBay, you have to send out a lot of offers before you see any sales from that. So that's why I like Poshmark. I would definitely recommend it, absolutely, if you do clothing or shoes. They have other markets now, like the home good market, and we sell coffee mugs and glasses on there too. But it's definitely super good for clothing and shoes. And then, like I said, I'm trying Mercari for the 3rd time. I'm not a fan, but I have to take my own advice to heart, and I need to increase our platforms and our streams of income as well. So I'm moving everything over to Mercari using List Perfectly. If you're not familiar with List Perfectly, I did do a video on it last week that you can go back and watch when you have some time. It should be on like the first page right when you go to our channel because it's that new of a video, or you can search the channel for List Perfectly. List Perfectly is a third-party app that allows you to cross-post with ease, very simply, in literal seconds to multiple platforms. I absolutely love it. So if you haven't seen the video or the demonstration, you should absolutely watch it because it has helped numerous resellers increase their sales just because you can cross post so fast and so quickly onto all these other platforms without spending a ton of time. It moves your photos and everything. So if you haven't seen the video, go ahead and watch it when you have some time. Watch it while you're taking photos or while you're listing. Just kind of have it on in the background so you can kind of get an idea of what it is. And you guys know I always preach multitask, so definitely do something else while you're watching me. And if you have seen it or you've been on the fence or you think you might want to sign up for List Perfectly, I do have an affiliate link. If you use it to sign up for List Perfectly, we get a couple of pennies for referring you, but it does help Keith and I. It helps support this channel and everything that we do here and all the time we spend on YouTube. So I think Holly has the affiliate link and she'll put it in the chat in just a second for you guys. You can sign up using that. I'm going to go back through the chat real quick. Dawn Marie will be trying List Perfectly shortly. Yeah, shipping is kind of high on Mercari for over £1. You're right, because I did move over some of our heavier plush earlier today and I was like, wow. I have not tried Vented. Yeah, we're going to touch upon all of that in just a minute, American Arbitrage. Got my little list of stuff I want to talk about, like always. Yeah, Posh kind of goes in spurts, I have noticed. But I definitely do notice a payout when I put more effort in on it. Simple to faith, I would say take some time and search my channel for Poshmark and watch the videos I have on when and how you should be sharing and offers to likers. And there is a video called Our Poshmark is on Fire, Here's What We Did, or something like that. Make sure you watch that one. If you can't wrap your head around how to use Poshmark, I have a ton of videos on how to use it and how to utilize it to make money. Hey Lisa, welcome in. I have tried 1,533.5 million things on Mercari. I'm not even, that's like a number I just made up. But that's like how frustrated I am with it. We have been on, this is our 3rd time on the platform. We tried everything everyone says. We've tried different it's like it's one of those platforms I just cannot get to work, and I really don't like it. But I am going to be putting all my plush on Mercari. But the first 2 times we had it's just like a monster all of its own. Like if you watch videos on eBay or Poshmark and people tell you do this and do that and try this and try that and put these kinds of items on there, you start selling. Mercari, it doesn't matter what we tried or what people said to do, it just never worked for us. But you know, try it again. If I didn't have List Perfectly, I would not be trying Mercari again. I'll tell you that right now. If I didn't have a super easy way of click, 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 done, click, 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 done, I wouldn't even be trying it again. But because it literally takes like 4 minutes to move 10 plush, 5 minutes maybe, I'm going to try it again. Yeah, you shouldn't be spending so much time on groups for Poshmark, and you shouldn't be spending so much time adding followers. That's not what you should be focusing on. Poshmark, you need to be focusing on sharing your own items and listing new items. I wanted to add that I've also heard Mercari doesn't like resellers too. I've heard a lot about that. All right, so let's talk about other stuff. So we've talked about all the different platforms you can be on, and you can use List Perfectly to easily, thank you for the link, Holly, to easily cross-post. You can be doing local sales. So if you have larger items, more expensive items, breakables you don't want to deal with mailing or shipping, and if you want to get rid of your stuff in lots like wholesale, you could try local sales. You could try Facebook Marketplace. There's Craigslist, OfferUp, Let Go, and so that's sales. And then social media I wanted to add before we move on to talking about affiliate links real quick. You can be using social media to sell your items. You do not have to have a lot of followers. You do not have to have a big platform. I think that's a misconception that a lot of folks have that turns them off from trying it. If you want to sell your stuff on Instagram, hey, Dominic's here. Welcome in, Dominic. Hi, thanks for joining us. If you wanted to try to sell on Instagram, I think a lot of folks don't, because they have this misconception that they think they need a lot of followers or this big platform, and you don't. The trick to selling your items on Instagram is all in your hashtags. So you don't have to have 10,000 followers. You don't have to have a huge audience. If you have, we'll use Robert Graham. If you have a Robert Graham shirt and you put a picture of it on Instagram and you hashtag it, men's fashion, Robert Graham flip cuff, dress shirt, flip cuff shirt, you know, you can put a ton, I think it's like up to 30 hashtags. You can still sell on Instagram without a huge following, because people that are on Instagram that are looking for Robert Graham shirts are going to be in those hashtags. You can click on hashtags and go to an entire page. For those of you that aren't familiar with Instagram, if you click on a hashtag, it takes you to an entire page with every single post that's ever had that hashtag on it. And people who are familiar with that and know how to use Instagram will just go to the hashtags that they like and go through all the posts with those hashtags. For instance, and this doesn't have anything to do with selling, but I will go to the hamsters of Instagram hashtags and just look at hamsters because I love hamsters. So you can definitely sell on Instagram with very few followers. With the right hashtags in your post, you will have your items come across the right eyeballs. And then you can either direct them to your eBay store or your Poshmark closet or wherever your item is listed, or you can sell to them directly and invoice them straight through PayPal. Amy, thank you so much for that. That's so sweet. Yeah, Dominic has it nail on the head. Hashtags galore. The hashtags are key on Instagram, not just for selling, but for anything. Hey, Robert, welcome in. Thanks for coming. Hey, Lady Halfling. Hi. So when you want to diversify your selling, you want to get on more platforms, try social media, Try Instagram, especially because you can utilize those hashtags, and you can do your local sales. Another way to bring in some extra streams of income is through affiliate links. And this is where it gets kind of tricky, because you kind of need somewhat of a following to do affiliate links. But you can throw them on your personal pages too, and have your Facebook friends or whatever use them. Affiliate links you want to put in places where lots of people are going to see them and click on them, and then you make your little bit of, it's not a lot, but it can add up. That's why I said it's kind of like you want a lot of followers, but even when you start small, every little bit of extra money counts. So even if you only got like an extra 10 or 20 bucks from eBay and another 15 from Amazon a month, that's the point of having all these multiple streams. You have money coming in from all these different places, and it all adds up and helps you to have more capital at the end of the day to put back into your business to build even more. And those little streams will build up into bigger rivers and oceans eventually. Everyone has to start somewhere. But with your affiliate links, and if you don't know how to do affiliate links, this is another one where I tell you, when you have time, search my channel. I have videos on how to set up both eBay and Amazon affiliate links. When you use those, I always recommend to folks, make sure you're putting them where you're allowed to. So don't go grab an Amazon affiliate link and go to every reseller group that you're a member of on Facebook and start spamming your affiliate links, because that's a really good way for you to get banned and kicked out of a lot of groups, because most groups have rules about posting links, and usually it's no links except for the group owner. And that's because the people who run Facebook groups spent time on their social media, spent time on their YouTube, and spent time on their Facebook groups building up their community and their followers and their subscribers. And they don't want everyone and their brother coming in with an affiliate link. So just make sure you're putting them where you're allowed to. And you have to, by law, by the federal, it's the FCC, the federal, I can't even remember what it's called. It's the FCC. I don't remember what it stands for. It's something, Federal something Commission. But the FCC has a law in place that if you put up affiliate links, you have to let people know that they're affiliate links. So you have to tell them, this is an affiliate link and I may make a commission. But those are a good way to bring in a little bit of extra. You can use them on your own Facebook, your YouTubes, and stuff like that. Let's look at the chat real quick. Hashtags are just good for everything. So you can use them on any post. Just hashtag everything that post is about, and hashtag your audience. So you can even just like start typing them in, and Instagram will suggest them for you and often tell you how many people have used them, so you can pick the best ones. Like if you start typing in Poshmark, it'll show you Poshmark tips, Poshmark sellers, and it kind of tells you how many people are using them, and you can just like touch them and select them. Hashtags are like everything on Instagram. So you can just, like I said, you could just start typing them in or just make them up. Whatever you're posting. If you're putting up a picture of your sales, hashtag eBay sales, hashtag shipping, hashtag profits, hashtag make money online, work from home, all those things. Yeah, you do have to have a really good inventory system, and you have to be on top of things if you are on multiple platforms, and make sure that you're taking them down from one when it sells on another. You have to be on top of that. And you have to have a good inventory system to know where things are. And Poshmark does have SKU lines now. Did you guys know that? That's exciting. Robert says, I hate hashtags, but I'm learning to use them. Communications is exactly right. Thank you, Holly. Federal Communications Commission is what the FCC stands for. And And so they have laws, and one of them is if you put up affiliate links, you just have to tell folks. I mean, if you're in our Facebook group, you've seen me do it, and in there, it's an affiliate link. We may make a commission. It's not guaranteed, so I say may, but thank you, Holly. Federal Communications Commission. Okay, so another way that you can make more money is obviously diversifying what you're selling. If you sell all used clothing and you want to increase your sales, the trick isn't to put more clothing in, it's to start adding plush to your store. If you sell all hard goods, maybe take a walk through the clothing at the thrift store and see if you find anything that's, worth money, worth picking up and adding to the store. If you sell all plush, maybe you need to add in some hard goods. There's so many different categories though, so if like clothing really turns you off, you don't have to do clothing. But I recommend to everybody to take a walk through the clothing once in a while, because you never know what you're going to see. You could find some really cool piece or luxury brand. Just like I think you should once in a while look at everything, because you never know what you're going to find. But diversifying what you sell will help you increase your profits as much as branching out to other platforms, because you're attracting more different kinds of people. That's not proper English, but you know what I meant. And if you started diversifying into say clothing, and you've never done clothing before, that could lead you to Poshmark. Or if you diversify into vintage items that you've never done before, now you have ventured into the territory where you can get on Etsy. So picking up different kinds of stuff can lead you to different apps or platforms as well that you never thought about before. Hi, Amy. Welcome in. So that's how you can increase your streams of income. Just increase where you're selling. I guess, and again, I should mention it's important to have a good inventory system. Make sure that you're on top of that. Try local sales, try affiliate links, try selling on social media, and make sure you have a good variety of different kinds of items. So where can you source better stuff, more profitable stuff? A lot of people don't think about this, but go on Google one day and look for thrift stores in your area that are not chains. So like not Salvation Army, not Savers, not Goodwill. Look for little thrift stores like mom and pops, or maybe smaller charitable organizations in your area that have these tinier thrift stores. A lot of times those get overlooked. They get overlooked and not shopped at as much, number one, but number two, other resellers. Long-time viewers may remember a time when Keith and I had a local honeypot thrift that we used to love, and we would go there every Saturday. They had 99-cent day. We found amazing stuff there because no one else really knew about it. Now, it did go out of business in July of 2018, and we were devastated, but that's a good example. Look for those little tiny thrift stores that maybe they're, in a little hole in the wall, or nobody's ever heard of them. That's where you're going to find some of the really good stuff. And those places usually have the really good deals, like half off days. And ours had a deal every day of the week on something different. It was amazing. So, hey, Brandy, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. So, thrift stores. Look for consignment stores in your area. Just be kind of careful with those. You want to make sure they're having sales, because some consignment stores can be pretty expensive. I'm thinking of one that's pretty popular, and it's brain farting out of my head. I can see it in my head, and I've been there 3 times and walked out with nothing. And I'll think of it after the live show. If you guys can think of what I'm thinking of, it's a consignment store. And they do sales once in a while, like 75% off. And then it's okay. But they tend, I cannot remember the name of it to save my life. I am totally having a brain fart. But whenever they have their consignment, when that consignment store, whose name I cannot remember, I can see it in my mind's eye. Whenever they have their sales, they'll have like 75% off, 90% off. But it's always on days when it's 20 degrees. Plato's Closet. Yes, thank you so much, The Wired Crone. That is what I'm thinking of. Plato's Closet. The one here, like the last time they had a really good sale, it was like 20 degrees out, raining, sleeting, freezing cold, and they had all of their sale stuff out on the sidewalk. Like, hey, let's have a sidewalk sale in 20 degree weather in the rain instead of having it in nice weather in the spring or summer. So we don't go there that much, but yeah, that's a good idea too, Yvette. Check for things that are going out of business. They usually have good prices. But check your consignment stores, and then I'm going to go into the outlet stores. Check those around you. But typically, consignment stores and outlet stores are only going to be a good place to source if they're having really good sales, like Nordstrom's Rack, things like that. Check for sales. Depending on your area, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross might be a good place for you to retail arbitrage from. Ours are not so much, and Holly can attest to that. She's been to visit. We've taken her into our TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross. We've taken Bill and David in, Gnome and Frog. Sydney visited, and we took her there. Ours are really priced high, so our TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross is really only good if it's got sales going on or you hit the clearance racks. And even then you have to really dig, because their idea of clearance sometimes is still higher than eBay prices, even on newer tags. So the consignment stores, the outlets, and the TJ Maxx and places like that are good places to source. Just keep an eye on like clearance racks and sales and stuff like that. A lot of those places have email that you can sign up for. You can sign up to be on their email list and get their emails when they're having their really great closeouts or their great sales, and you know to go at that point. Make sure you have Treasure Map app on your phone, even if it's winter and you live in a cold state, because they still put their estate sales and church sales on there. So make sure that you have the Treasure Map app. I talk about it all the time in the summer when we're yard selling all the time. But the Treasure Map app, I don't even know if I can show it to you. It's not gonna. There we go. So it's an app you put on your phone. It's for the Android or the iPhone, and it pulls from the newspaper, Craigslist, Facebook. It pulls from a bunch of different publications, all of the yard sales, church sales, estate sales, things like that in your area, and puts them on a map for you, and you can see them. It's invaluable in the summer, definitely, but it's still good to have even in the winter, even in a cold area. It's a cold state, because you're going to still find your church sales and estate sales on there. So you can still check it every Friday before the weekend comes up to see if there's anything in your area. There's also places online where you can go look up estate sales and sign up for their emails. And there's one that I always forget what it is, and I even asked Holly before the show if she remembered it. But there's an estate sale web. Oh, Dominic's still here. Maybe he can help us out if he hasn't left yet. Dominic, the estate website where you go to, you sign up for their email, and they email you for estate sales in your area. Somebody always has to help me remember that. Where to find video games. Video games are really found. A lot of the ones we find are yard sales and church sales, and we get really good deals there. We used to go to a couple of pawn shops in the area, but they have astronomically raised their prices. I swear to everything that every pawn shop owner in our area has raised. They check eBay. So like the one we used to go to years ago, he would just give us stacks of video games for super duper cheap, right? And then it started to get to where we would take up stacks of video games, and he would take them off one by one, and he would check the prices on eBay. So I kind of think that pawn shops are like that across the board. I know that Casey said the ones in Florida have all raised their prices as well. But it doesn't hurt for you to go check one time. If you don't find anything, or you find that their prices are too high, it doesn't hurt to go check one time. You didn't really waste a lot of time if you just check once. But we don't go back anymore after the last time, because he sat there and he priced every single video game on eBay, literally. And we were like, no, thank you. Estatesales.net. Yes, thank you so much. That is it. So you can go to estatesales.net and you can sign up for their email list and be emailed for estate sales in your area. Why is that so hard for me to remember? Estatesales.net. We don't really have a Buffalo Exchange in our area here, so I've never personally had any experience with them. I know that Katie and Vicky talk about it sometimes, that they mail stuff away, and I recommended it to Bill and David, and I feel like they didn't get a lot of money for their stuff, maybe. All right, so little local thrift stores, the consignment and outlets and all of that, church sales, estate sales, and then local. So just like you can sell locally, you can buy locally. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. They have so many Facebook groups out there that you can just find one for your city. You can literally just say, I live in Pittsburgh and I want to know who's selling stuff on Facebook. I'm in several Facebook groups that just sell plush, that just sell toys. So you can look for Facebook groups for selling, buying and selling, based on your location, based on what you're looking for and your location. You can just go to Facebook Marketplace and browse. You can go to Craigslist, Letgo, OfferUp, all those places. You gotta be quick though, because I feel like every time we find something really, really good, we never are fast enough. And I feel like people don't update them a lot. Like, they'll sell stuff and not update it, but it's another venue to find items to sell that you may not find in local thrift stores. And that's something I wanted to bring up. Like, the things that we find in thrift stores here are going to be different than the things that you're going to find in thrift stores in Arizona than you're going to find in thrift stores in Florida. Clearly, the thrift stores in your area have the donated goods from people in your area. So whatever's common to your area is what you're going to find in the thrift stores. Like, we find a lot of Steelers. We find a lot of winter coats and sweaters and jeans and boots. When we were in Florida and we went around to the thrift stores there, they had a lot of Tommy Bahama, Cuba Vera, Hawaiian shirts, shorts, different brands, just different styles. So wherever you're at, that's where things are getting donated. If you are looking at local sales online, if you're looking at buying bulk or wholesale online, then you're looking into getting outside of your area. There's 1,500,000 places, probably. I made that number up too. There's a lot of places online to buy liquidation, wholesale, and bulk. A lot of them do them in like auction format. A lot of them have certain times of the week or the day that they list new items you can go through. There's some stores that sell pallets of their returns. You just got to do a little bit of research. It doesn't take a lot to find all these places. There's just so many that do that. They sell pallets of the returns or pallets of defected items. There's a ton of wholesale and auction places online that you could be buying items from. And when you start doing that, when you start looking outside of the box that way, you can start to find way different things than you can find in your area. And it's not bad to just have the items in your area that you can find at your thrift stores. Because clearly we all built a business on our thrift stores and our bins near us, right? But it helps with the diversifying. So, like, okay, I see Rhonda and Amelia mentioned ThreadUp. So with ThreadUp, you get a ton of brands that you never would normally find. I have never in my lifetime found a pair of mother jeans in the wild in Pittsburgh. That's just not going to happen. I got a pair of mother jeans in my ThreadUp box. I got a pair of J brand. Just things that I would never, ever see here. I don't think anyone in Pittsburgh is buying those kinds of expensive jeans. I do find Miss Me and Silver from time to time in Lucky Brand and sometimes True Religion, but nothing like that. And ThreadUp, I guess, should be another place that I mentioned. ThreadUp is a really good place to get inventory from. They have rescue boxes. Sometimes you don't get good stuff and sometimes you do, though. So it's kind of a risk. But I've always found that I get enough good stuff in a box to pay for the box and make a profit. So even the stuff in the box that's poop, it's okay that I got some poop because I usually get enough good items that it more than pays for itself. And yeah, Rhonda and Amelia do really well with their shoes. I get their denim boxes. I love their denim boxes. But back to the wholesale, just real briefly, I'm going to talk to you about the wholesale and liquidation. Liquidation lots for less that Keith and I are doing with Casey. You've probably heard Casey the Rockstar Flipper and me talking about it a lot. We started talking about it in September because Casey, more so than me, because he has a bigger following and platform, but both of us were getting a lot of messages from people that were asking us if we knew anyone who wanted to buy this or that. I'm getting out of jeans, I'm getting out of women's clothing, I'm getting out of kids' clothing. Just messages like that where people had all this stuff that they wanted to get rid of. Not because anything was wrong with it, not because it was bad items or anything like that. It's just sometimes people move on. Sometimes people are like, I just don't want to do jeans anymore, so I want to sell all my jeans off at once. I don't want to do clothes anymore. Whatever reasons, people just want to get rid of everything. Sometimes people, like Candace said at the beginning of this video, you just get too much stuff and you get overwhelmed. You just have too much inventory laying around and you cannot get it all listed yourself. It's just too much for you. There's lots of reasons why people get rid of their stuff, but we were getting messages all the time asking us if we wanted to buy someone out or knew anyone that would, and there were a couple instances where we did, like the remotes. You guys all know the huge gaylord of remotes we bought. 3,000 of them we're still working through. And then we bought a reseller out in July right before eBay opened, and we got that huge box, the one that I always refer to as the box that keeps on giving. But we just kept getting all these messages, and so I know that like in September I started talking on the channel that we were going to try to figure out a way to hook up people who wanted to sell with the people who wanted to buy wholesale, and we figured it out. Keith and Casey figured it out, I should say. They talked about it a lot while we were in Florida, and they figured out a system. And there's a lot of reasons why you would want to buy wholesale too. If you're disabled like me, and you can get everything delivered right to your door, and you don't have to go out and source and put strain on your back or your leg or whatever part of your body is hurt, getting it delivered to your door is amazing. And I know that's why a lot of my followers and subscribers like ThreadUp, because you get it all just delivered to you right away. You don't have to worry about it. It saves time and money too, because if you can get like say 100 pairs of jeans delivered to your door, how much time is that going to save you from? How many thrift stores would you have had to gone to and dug through rack after rack after rack after rack to find that many jeans? How many different stores are you digging in, standing in line, paying, loading your car, unloading your car? So there's like a lot of good reasons. Weather as well, like where we live. I don't really want to go out sourcing when it's snowing and icing, and I'd rather just have stuff delivered. So there's like a lot of really good reasons to both sell and buy wholesale. It's a really good way to get rid of extra death piles. If you just have so much stuff sitting around that you don't want it anymore, you might as well get your money back and a little bit of profit and sell it, wholesale. And if you can get it delivered right to your door, that's pretty amazing too. We have done Sellhound. So I don't personally, I think they're too expensive, but that's a whole topic for another day. So there is a website to sign up for the email. It's free to sign up to get the email for the wholesale. There is no such thing as access. It's just an open link to a Shopify store where they have it all. I think Holly has the link if she wants to put it up. So there's two parts to the wholesale. You can sign up for the email, which basically just sends you instructions if you want to sell your stuff. How to do it, how to tell us, how to get it to us. And then there's the Shopify website where you can go and browse through everything that is available right now as far as the wholesale lots. And I don't know how you wouldn't have gotten access, because the link to that is all over my Facebook group, Instagram, Casey's. We've been promoting it. Let me see if I can grab it. Dun dun dun. It's in my description box as well. Nope, that's not it. That is just a bunch of... Okay, Holly's there. She'll get it. So you sign up for the email if you want the instructions on how to sell. And if you want updates, through the email, Casey or I are sending out emails just to update people whenever we add a lot of new lots. But as far as seeing them, everyone has access. They're just on a Shopify. And I guess I should add, because I know Casey likes to tell people this, Shopify is not really a valid platform to sell on, as far as organically, people coming to you to buy, on Poshmark or eBay. But if you have an audience that you are sending traffic somewhere for something in particular, like these wholesale lots, Shopify is a good website for that. But people really shouldn't try to sell on there like they do eBay or Amazon or Poshmark. It's not really valid for that. And if you go to the Shopify and you look through the lots, just keep in mind that the price you're seeing on the lots is 10% of the actual price for you to reserve it. And then you will be sent your total bill for the remainder of the cost of the lot plus the shipping. So if you see a lot for $10, no, you're not getting, 20 new tags, Victoria's Secret bras for $10. That's just your 10% reserve price. And then you get your shipping charges after that. And your remaining invoice for the rest of the lot. All right, so while we wait for Holly to put up the Shopify link, I'm just going to recap everything we talked about tonight. Throw in any last minute questions you guys have. I'll try to answer them before I take off. Got about, 8 minutes left until we've hit the hour mark. So to increase the amount that you're selling and the eyeballs on your items, and to increase the amount of streams of income you have coming in, you should be thinking about selling on different platforms. If it's too overwhelming, try one new one at a time. Master eBay and then master Mercari or Poshmark and then master. You don't have to add 5 or 6 or 10 on at once. Add one at a time. Take your time. Get to be an expert at one thing and then add another. There are third-party apps out there that do help you cross-post quickly. My favorites list perfectly. You can try selling your items locally. You can try selling your items on social media. You can add affiliate links to your repertoire. And diversify your products always to be diversifying. And then as far as thinking outside of the box of where to find items and where to source, we talked about ThreadUp, which is one of my favorites. I actually have a denim box. I ordered it like Thanksgiving weekend, but sometimes they get really, really backed up with people ordering. But as soon as it gets here, I'll open it for you guys live. But ThreadUp, local, tiny, little thrift stores that aren't part of the big chains, consignment stores, outlets, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Ross. You can always look at like Target and Walmart and places like that too for retail arbitrage, but you just really want to hit the clearance and make sure that you're leaving yourself enough room to profit, and that it's worth your time. You don't want to be picking up retail arbitrage that you're going to make a couple bucks on. Not really worth your time. And then make sure you have the Treasure app on your phone. It's a free app. It's for Android or iPhones. And you can look for your church sales and your estate sales and yard sales on that. And look locally to pick up items. And go online and look for places where you can buy pallets, liquidation, wholesale, returns, things like that. And you can always look at our wholesale that we have available on the Shopify link that Holly shared. I did a store review for her, and so I just pointed out a couple things to her during the store review that helped her to increase her sales. Rhonda and Amelia are supposed to get their denim box Thursday. How exciting. Yeah, I should go online and check and see where mine's at, as far as when it's supposed to be here. I am out of jeans. I am 100% out of jeans, and I've been out of jeans for weeks. We bought a whole ton of them in Florida. If you watch those live shows that I did in Florida with Casey showing off all my jeans I bought, we ended up mailing like 60 pounds worth of stuff to ourselves back here in Pittsburgh. And the first week back, I was so excited. I got all my jeans measured, photographed, and listed because I found amazing stuff in Florida. Pretty much almost all Miss Me, True Religion, and Silver, with a couple of Page and Cut from the Cloth thrown in. And there was one pair of J-Lo. J-Lo is my favorite bread and butter, by the way. Most of you longtime viewers probably know that. I love J-Lo for bread and butter, and I had a plus size pair. But anyway, I got all of them up and listed. We're not sourcing right now. We have plenty of death piles around here. The I don't wannas. We are still currently going through our inventory and finding things every single day that need to be relisted. And I still have a downstairs full of my friend's store that I inherited last year that I'm still working through. And the remotes. So we're just kind of taking it easy during the winter, not really going out and sourcing. With the exception of I'm going to be ordering ThreadUp boxes all winter because I have to have jeans to be happy. And I do currently have probably about 800 plush in my death pile. That's just an estimate. I'm kind of imagining where they're all at and how many boxes they're in. But I have a pretty big plush death pile. But if I work my way all the way through that this winter, before the yard sales hit and the church sales, which is where I typically get most of my plush, I will be going to the Goodwill that has the 50-cent plush here. I'll have to go out and get more plush. I have to have plush and I have to have jeans to be happy. Those are my two favorite things to list. So I will be ordering ThreadUp boxes all winter, and I may be going out for plush if I run out. But in case anybody was wondering why you haven't seen any haul videos, because I used to do 2 a week. It's because we're not sourcing right now, and I have plenty of plush, I think, to get me through the winter. I do like the place I get them for 50 cents, but if I can get through the winter, that's better, because I get them at yard sales and church sales all the time, like in bulk, and it comes out to like a quarter or less a plush. But we'll see how much I work through and what I get through. I've limited myself to working on plush once a week, 1 day a week, and the rest of the time I'm spending on everything else, like the death piles. And I've taken over the men's shirts because Keith is only listing remotes right now. That's his only responsibility, is to list the remotes as far as eBay. I shouldn't say his only responsibility. The only thing he's listing on eBay right now is the remotes, so that we can try to get through those. So I am taking on men's clothes as well. So just so much stuff to get through. So much stuff. So you probably won't see me sourcing or a haul video until the spring, unless I run out of plush or order a ThreadUp box. I will always open those live. The live ThreadUp box openings are fun. Just Wirecrown got theirs in only 4 days. I ordered mine over Thanksgiving. I'll have to check on it. Hello, Ohio Valley Bends. Welcome in. Merry Christmas. You're coming in at the end of the show. So, yeah, the ThreadUp boxes can be hit or miss, but like I said, I usually get enough good stuff in them to justify the poop. And then sometimes I get really good stuff like those mother jeans. So, I recommend them. I don't tell anyone they shouldn't do them. They're worth it. And they often do free shipping or half off or some kind of discount. If you're not in our Facebook group, the Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, you should be. Link to join is in the bottom here in the description box. Join our Facebook group if you're not a member already. There's a ton of us in there that do like the ThreadUp boxes, and we share the codes and we share when there's free shipping. Someone's always updating in there. Hey, I just got an email. I just got this code, and you can keep up to date on when they're having sales, as well as everything else we do on there. There's a lot of plush sellers, so you can get information about plush. There's people in there that know a lot about pretty much everything that you can possibly know about reselling. We have a really great, diverse group in there, and everyone is super positive and super nice. So if you're brand new to reselling and you're in other groups where you feel like people are they bully you or they're mean to you or make you feel stupid for your new questions, doesn't happen in our group. Everyone is welcome. There are no dumb questions. Everyone was new at one time, and everybody has always needed help. So we welcome everybody from someone who's been doing it since this morning to 20-year veterans, and everyone is super nice. So make sure you join us. I'm going to take off. It's been about an hour. So hit the thumbs up before you guys leave. It really helps the channel, guys. Join the Facebook group. If you haven't already and you'd like to, subscribe to our channel and help us feed all these hungry hippos around here. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin' Hippos across all the social medias. And if you need any links that you saw in this chat later, they're all in the description box down below. Every single one of them that Holly shared. Thank you so much, Holly, for sharing all the links tonight and taking time out of your life to help me moderate and share links. I really super appreciate it. Thank you to all my other moderators. You guys do help me out a lot. And everyone else, thank you so much for watching and for spending an hour with me. Without you guys, there'd be no Flippin' Hippos, so we absolutely do appreciate you. You guys are the best. Go make some money. Go be productive. I'll see you next time. Bye.